Well, I started to mill the wood for the top. This is maple that I've ripped and planed to 1 inch thick, and it's about 2.5 inch wide faces with a 1/4 inch tongue on it. So I've got to now put in the groove on the back here on all but the first and last piece. Well, I've started to dry fit the maple to the top here, so it's just a matter of bricking the pieces. As you can see, I got 2 rows in here, and there's a joint here, and there, and here, and so forth. And I'm just fitting this piece in right here. So I'm just dry fitting now. I'll mark the pieces and then take it out and then glue and nail it to the top. Well, I've got the maple all fitted to the top right now the way I want it, and I got a 2.25 inch opening back there, and I've got 2 pieces of maple left, so I guess I figured it out pretty close. So that'll rip after I put it together, because it may shift a little bit while I'm gluing and nailing it down. So the next thing to do is to mark it, take it apart, and start the gluing. Well, I'm just about half done with applying it, and don't have to move too fast. We'll put a bunch of glue down on the bench. They're all numbered, so I gotta just make sure that I do them in order. A bunch of glue on the piece. And since I'm filming it, I hope it goes together well. I got a block here that I use for whacking it in. And then a couple of nails, just like doing flooring. And it nails at an angle here. And that piece is in, and the last one still fits, so we'll be finished up here shortly. Well, I've finished putting the maple onto the top of the core, and it went much easier this time than the last time I did it. And for those of you that are going to ask, I did take the tongue off the last piece here, so that it's just glued in. That's 2.1/8 inches. The rest of these are about 2.5. So the next thing to do is to get it flat once the glue dries, and then of course you guys are going to ask me, well, what about wood expansion and contraction? So in the winter time, the gaps between the wood here will get a little bit smaller, and in the summertime they get a little tighter, but at least with the old one, they never got tight enough to make it buckle. So I think this is going to work just like the old one. Well, the bench is now in the spot where I think it's going to be for the rest of its life. I flattened it as you saw with the hand plane, so it's pretty flat right now. I checked it with a straight edge, and I think the most surprising thing is how the floor runs from the curb back there out this way. It's up on 3/4 blocks in the front here to try to level it out front to back, and it's pretty level, but now it's 3/4 of an inch higher in the front here than I anticipated, as opposed to this one, which runs downhill that way. But anyway, we're ready for holes. I'm going to sand the top a little bit. Yeah, holes and then drawers. Well, I'm making the drawers now with a workbench, and again, I make them all the same way that I have for a number of years, and that is dadoing one edge to 3/8 by 3/8, and then cutting a 3/8 by 3/8 dado in the front or back, and they just slide into each other. Like so. Trying to put them together as quick as I can. There we have it. And they'll be glued and nailed. And then we got to get a groove in the bottom yet for the bottom, the 1/4 inch groove for the bottom. And then there'll be faces on the drawers. Well, after gluing up all of the drawers, I added the bottom with a piece of 1/4 inch plywood there, put a couple nails in the back, and then I cut some more plywood and made them drawer faces, which are just tacked onto the front here right now, so that it matches out down here on the bottom of the bench. So what's left to do is to put on some wood knobs. Also, I did put on the rails. So these I made earlier. You saw me make them in the previous videos, where these hardwood runners are tacked onto the side here. And I had previously fitted them to be centered on these runners with the story stick. And well, this is the last step in making of the bench, is drilling the holes for the dog holes and holdfasts. I'm drilling a 3/4 inch hole here, and I made this jig out of a piece of plywood. This is an old drill alignment jig, and I've got it clamped in here with a block. And my drill, it's a corded drill, and as you can see, it's pretty straight. It does wobble a little bit, but I try to keep it as straight as possible. And there you have it. So one more done. So that one was pretty straight, actually. Well, with the holes drilled, we're ready for some finish. And I'm putting on Watco Danish oil here. And could actually just pour it on, because it's going to take about at least 2 coats, because it just soaks in as fast as you put it on. But that's what I finished my other bench with. Over the years, it quits taking it. but it protects the wood a little bit. But the only thing to worry about is dumping my coffee on the top, because otherwise we're gonna pound on it. Well, there you have it. I've finished the workbench. So we got a Lee Valley large face vise here and a Lee Valley twin screw vise at this end and 7 drawers, and so the bench is all finished. So now we're a 2-bench shop, and this is the Lakewood design, Lakewood, Colorado and Lakewood, Ohio.